Alright, what is up guys? So it's that cop guy coming back at you. So today we're going to go over what happens when you are in tech school, about to leave tech school to PCS to your first base. And we're going to go over everything that entails and kind of give you guys some little tips and tricks, things that I didn't know when I came here, to help you guys out for a smoother transition. So I'll see y'all in a little bit. Drift away. Alright guys, so coming into about 2 to 3 weeks before you get out of tech school, you're going to get a sponsor. Now what this sponsor is going to do for you is it's going to be a person of contact for you to be able to ask any questions you want. It's also going to be the person that's going to help get you set up in the dorms when you arrive on station. This is going to be the person that's going to take you into the squadron, show you where everything is, show you what all you have to do. It's also going to be the person that will take you to your dorm, show you where your dorms are, stuff like that, get you all situated, make sure that you are good to go and ready to basically get on with the mission and then start your phase 1 training. So coming on to one of your last days, you're going to have an itinerary made, because they will not let you leave tech school without having an itinerary made. The way the itinerary works is, so for example, for me, this is how it worked. So I was leaving tech school on September 22nd. So I had to have it made out to where I left on the 22nd, and then it had to go from Lackland Air Force Base to the airport, from that airport to the next airport for another flight, and then it had to have like the time of your standby until you hopped on another flight, and then that flight back to South Bend, and then South Bend to the actual home address that you're going to be staying at for if you're taking rapid leave. So then you have to actually have that made out to where you're back at your home address. Then for me, I then had to post out from the days that I will be on rapid leave, and then I had to then post my itinerary from the day I leave that home address to the hotel, which is at that 500-mile mark, or 8 hours, whichever comes first, because that's the way it is when you're getting out of tech school, or actually, you know, that's how it's supposed to be. And then I had to have my other part from that hotel to my duty station. Now you have to have all this set up before, like, it has to go through your MTL before you can even leave your tech school, because they have to make sure that you actually know where you're going, how you're getting there, and how many days it's going to take you to get there, so that way they know that you are not going over on your leave, you're not going over on all your time off, and you're not going to you're not going over the time for your report no later than day, which is your RTNL. So basically, if you're doing it the way that I did it, so I drove here. I'm married, and I was married before I got in the military. So when me and my wife drove here, I then had to, the hardest part was getting housing. So if you want to stay in island-based housing, the best advice that I can give to you is, when you get your soft orders, which you can look on your VMPF, and you can find your soft orders while you're in tech school. It's usually about 2 to 3 weeks into tech school. You can then find your soft orders on there, and then that will give you an idea of what base you're going to. More than likely, that is the base that you are going to be going to, unless for some reason it requires a different kind of clearance and you can't get it. Other than that, that is the base that you're going to be going to. So the way that it works for me is, I needed to get a house here, and I wanted to live in on-base housing when I first got here, because I don't know the area. I don't know, basically I don't want to buy a house and then not know where the house is, because I don't know how the area here is. So I went for on-base housing right off the bat. So the nice part is, as soon as you get your soft orders, you can then get a hold of the housing company that is at your base, and this is for my married folks or for anybody with dependents. that will be getting a house, not for people that are living in the dorms. So you can then get with a housing agency that is for the base that you're going to, and you can contact them. You can send them a copy of your soft orders and everything else, so then they can put you on a waiting list. And then at least that way you're on a waiting list, because some of the waiting lists can be super lengthy. So this way you're on a waiting list, and then once your hard orders drop, for us it was the week of us leaving. So it was the beginning of the week that we left. So that was the day that we got our actual hard orders in hand. So at that time I was able to take the hard orders, send a copy of those over to the housing company here, and then they were able to be like, all right, you've been on the waiting list, you're good to go. We got your hard orders and we have a house for you. And then they can send you, I believe it is up to 3 houses that you can accept or decline whether you want those houses or not, but you only get up to 3 houses. So I was fortunate enough to get ahead of the game there and get on that. So there's another piece of advice for the people that are married or have dependents that are getting a house as soon as they get to a base. That is something you want to do. You want to basically get ahead of everything, get on that wait list, use your soft orders, get on a wait list for them, and then that way once your hard orders drop, more than likely they will have a house already ready for you to move in when you do move in. Alright, so coming straight out of tax school, this is for my married folks again. So one thing that I wish that I learned before I moved here, because there wasn't very much, people didn't really tell me what to expect or what to do when I came here, so it was a little off for me. So when I came here, when I got on station, I knew I got here on the 15th, and I knew that my house was not ready for me to move in until the 17th. So I went out and I was like, all right, we're just gonna stay in a hotel for a couple days, no big deal. So we got a hotel room for the 15th, the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th. So that's 3 nights in a hotel. Because we had pets and I also came with firearms, so I knew I couldn't get on base, go to the hotels on base. I knew I had to stay off base. The problem with that is nobody told me that you had to go about it this route, but you need to get a form from the on-base hotel that will say that it's a non-availability form. So basically saying that there's no availability for you to stay here. This is going to come important when it comes to your travel voucher, because your travel voucher is going to pay for your hotel rooms and your hotel expenses. Problem is, if you do not have a non-availability letter, they will not cover your hotel expenses, because they look at it as you should have stayed on post, because you were in the area and you could have stayed on post but you didn't, and there's no non-availability letter saying that you couldn't stay on post. So that is one big thing that will save you guys some money, that you guys need to make sure that if you cannot stay on post or don't want to stay on post or whatever it is, make sure you get a hold of the person at the hotel that is on base and get a hold of them first, so they can tell you what to do, because nobody ever told me that, and I got very lucky on being able to talk to them and explain to them my situation, and they were able to get me a backdated non-availability form, just because they knew that I wasn't told previously what to do. So they were very understanding of it, so they got me that, so that way I did get my money back for the hotel. But just so you know, if you're not so lucky and you don't do these things, you will have to pay out of pocket for those hotel stays, because you didn't get a non-availability letter. Alright, and for my people in the dorms, all my single airmen that are coming here and they're from the dorms, so the thing that you guys are going to do is you're still going to have your itinerary and everything ready to go, so that way you're far ahead of the game. Is you're going to have your itinerary ready to go, and then once you get here, your sponsor and the unit should already have it set up that you have a dorm ready for you to move into. So whether you're driving here, if you have your own car, you can drive here, meet up with your sponsor. He'll show you around, he'll show you your dorm, he'll show you everything that you need to know. He'll take you through the whole process. So the only other thing is, if you are flying here, the sponsor will then pick you up from the airport, bring you here, show you everything you need, take you through the squadron, everything that I've said previously. He's going to do that for you. So those are the only two differences between the two. Other than that, it's all pretty straightforward. So when you are driving out here yourself, one thing I did a Diddy move, so I moved everything myself. So when I was back home for a wrap and leave, I packed everything up into my trailer and I moved it all out here. Now the thing is, if you're gonna do a Diddy move, you have to weigh everything empty. So your truck empty, your trailer empty, if you're using a trailer, or if you're using a U-Haul, weigh that empty. Then load everything in, and then the day that you are leaving, stop by another scale, weigh your vehicle again with everything in it, because you're gonna get paid according to how much weight is in, what the difference of the weight is between empty and loaded. That is how much you're gonna get paid. That's gonna base off your pay of how much you're gonna get paid for your Diddy move. And also another thing to not forget is keep your toll receipts, because you're gonna get refunded those toll receipts. Keep your fuel receipts, keep your food receipts, basically, and keep your hotel receipts, because sometimes you have to stop in the middle of it, but you have to have receipts for every single thing. Now for me, I flew from San Antonio back to South Bend, and then went from South Bend out here to Virginia. Now the way that works is you have to keep the receipt for your flight also, because you need to turn in that receipt also, because they will refund you that money for your flight and then also for your Diddy move. It will be two separate things. So your flight is going to go on your travel voucher, your tolls is going to go on your travel voucher, and then your fuel and hotel is actually going to be averaged into your per diem. That's what you're going to be getting paid. And then also everything else, so your weight that you're moving is going to get paid by TMO. So there's going to be two separate things you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid your travel voucher, you're going to get paid your TMO. But one thing you do need to know is you need to keep receipts for every single thing that you brought here and every single thing you got charged for while going to your duty station. You may not need all those receipts, but it does not hurt to have them, because I didn't have a few of my receipts and I had to basically play hard to try to find or try to get a copy of those receipts. So basically just get you a nice little envelope, put all your receipts for every single thing that it cost you to travel, put all those things in that envelope, take it all down there with you, and while you're filling it all out, you can just punch it all right in with all the receipts that you have. So even for my guys that are just single moving to the dorms, now you still got to pay for that flight. So you can, there's a few different ways you can do it. From Lackland, you can pay for your own flight if you're going home for a wrap or leave, and then you have to pay for a flight from wrap or leave over here, or for your move, whichever. Either way, I still recommend, even if you're not moving a bunch of goods, still weigh your stuff, because you can still get paid for that stuff. So just don't miss out on all that. Another thing is, if you're flying from there to your duty station, there's a way where you can actually book it through them, and they will pay for your flight. You don't have to pay for it out of pocket. If you want to pay for it yourself, make sure you keep the receipt for it so you can claim that stuff. Basically, I just recommend, even if you're just moving like a little bit of things from your house, not much, you don't think it's a lot, either way, weigh your stuff, take it to TMO, get paid for that stuff. So this pretty much concludes all the things that I wish I knew, the little bit of advice that I can give you guys. I know I'm probably forgetting some stuff. I mean, we're all human, it's not perfect, but anything that pops up on your mind about moving and stuff like that that I haven't covered already, please drop a comment down below. Let me know what it is, and I can answer it. Also, I just started a new Facebook group. It is called That Cop Guy, capital T for that, capital C for cop, and capital T for, or G for guy. So it is That Cop Guy. It is a Facebook group that I created for you guys, because I do get a lot of questions and comments down here on YouTube, and I do appreciate it. But I created that to have like a little bit of ease where instead of having comments of different things on all the different videos, I want to try and bring you guys all into that Facebook page where you guys can all comment and everybody can read what it is and they can see everything on how I answer it, how other people want to respond to it. Everything that is available will be a lot easier that way. So hopefully we can get everybody over to that Facebook group, get everybody signed in there. That'd be nice. Whatever you guys do, don't forget to subscribe down below. Hit that bell so that way you guys get notifications whenever new videos drop, new content drops. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.